The Wellness Show, episode 116.
Welcome to The Wellness Show, a podcast on health and wealth. I'm your host, Tyson Bannigan, the founder of the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy. Join me as we get the latest insight, tips, and strategies from wellness providers, coaches, and successful, heart-centered entrepreneurs, and much, much more. So welcome to The Wellness Show, and on today's call we have Angelica Rose, who is a walk-in. So I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to talk to her. So tell me all about this.
Tell you all about this experience. As an angelic walk-in, when the body's complete, it usually dies. And in my experience, I came in and continued on evolving the human expression to a place where I'm at right now so that I could support human consciousness, human mankind, womankind, and the planet with heightened levels of pure love, and also being able to create grids and supporting the consciousness of probably even the animals and those that have crossed over. So it's kind of a fun experience when you get to work both on the physical realm and the spiritual realm. I channel these amazing pure loving beings, the Angelic Realm, the Ascended Masters, and when I channel them, they help to wake up those that are necessary to wake up to heightened levels of love. And then they also help to create these amazing grids on the planet so that the planet itself supports its ascension as well. And so it's kind of a fun dual experience.
Yeah, it does. It sounds like you're bridging both worlds. So is this sort of like a mission from God, or is this a soul choice that you made? How did you end up with this assignment? Do you have any idea around that?
Well, I do know one of the things I do remember is when they said, are you sure you want to come in to the physical realm? At that point, I probably could have said, well, let me think about it. But I said, sure. And then when I came in, I had no idea what I got myself into. And I asked for the rules and books of manuals that they forgot to send me. And all I heard them doing is smiling at me. And then they explained what happened in a dream state. And so I do know that it was a pact, that the other expression was complete. I actually saw her after we exchanged. I saw her with her husband, and I had to complete a lot of the energies that she didn't complete. So it was a braided experience for quite some time. And then when the vibration got raised enough and the karmic energies, ancestral energies got complete enough, she was able to move on to her next phase. And I was able to be more fully into my purpose, which really came about as a solo versus the braided, probably maybe now a year now. So this is kind of like the first year that I feel more of a comfort level being on the planet. And although I did have somewhat of a comfort because I have a funny sense of humor, I crack jokes a lot, and it helps to keep me light since I'm a fairy angel. So I do that to make sure I don't get too heavy. But I did have, some pretty intense experiences, and I did ask why I had to go through that. It's in my new book, and they told me that it was to help me understand compassionately about what it's like to be in a human form so I can support others in their awakening. And I said, well, could I have done it without having to go through that process? And obviously it was part of the process.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're sort of part of the planetary cleanup crew that's down here on assignment to help us human beings do this next step. So have you found other angelic beings that have incarnated as well?
I only know of one other person that's an angelic walk-in. All the others chickened out. they probably said, you go down, I'll join you. And then I came here and they're like, well, where are you? And they're like, I'm not coming into this physical realm. We'll stay up here and talk to you. So I do see them a lot. Actually this year I could feel them, see them, experience them, almost like I'm there with them. The frequencies are off the charts, and I cannot be any happier because I was seeing them on and off during the years of being on the planet, but not at this vibrational frequency. And it makes me feel like I'm at home more because I'm able to feel them like I'm talking to a human person. And I've actually had experiences where they did come in human form and did have conversations, but unfortunately they didn't stay. And I'm like, where did you go? So it's kind of like passing bys. I call them pass buyers. And I said, well, can you please come by and stay? And I think that's what's going to happen this year. I feel really confident that I'm going to start attracting people at a higher vibration that are going to be more balanced rather than those that had this kind of a denser vibration that really didn't resonate and was very difficult to be around.
I'm hoping that's going to be the same for myself. Interesting you should bring that up. I just feel like all my life I've been gifted to work with the most gifted, right? And in the last number of years of my life, I've really been dealing with those that are really struggling, figuring out, how to manage their own energy system, how to become re-embodied in their body after trauma because they've become discarnate. So, helping people get past possession and all those sorts of things. And I'm really looking forward to being able to work with those that are ready to do this next evolutionary step, which I feel is a collective undertaking. So, like you, I look forward to that opportunity to meeting, what would I say, those on the similar frequencies so that we can work together to bring about this new next step. So
yeah, I call them enlightened beings, and it's pretty amazing. I look back, and I'm glad I journalized this all for this new book, because it will help a lot of people. And I learned about compassion. I learned about letting go of self-defeating beliefs and how the human mind works, how the human emotions work, how the physical body holds energy. So, it was a crucial step. I just wish it didn't have to take as many years as it did. Although wishing and having to go through it is where the acceptance came in. And I know without any ounce of doubt, based on this last lesson that I just went through, that I'm into this new leg. It's called the third leg. They told me I was moving into it, and that there had to be some completions around the second leg, and I could feel the vibration shift. I could tell by the way people were talking today. One guy said, looking good. And, he knows me. He wasn't flirting. I could feel like he was acknowledging my frequency, and, people taking pictures, strangers, and making comments. And it feels good because I'm being acknowledged for my angelic energy rather than what I had to go through in order to get to this place. So for me, it's more of a humbling confirmation that they're seeing something that allows me to know that it's real, kind of on the physical plane. So I'm kind of excited to see, I closed a lot of energy doors around certain vibrational frequencies, and it was a challenge because it really brought up a lot of the other expressions, belief systems around it, and how I took it on and played it out. And, it's like everything is being moved into a totally new direction, which is why I feel like there's a move coming up, and everything is putting me into this totally new vibration. And it's going to be fun to see what this next assignment looks like, how it's going to play out and so forth. So I'm kind of excited.
yeah, I hope I get to join you in that too, because I'm looking for the same transition myself. Is that enough of this already? Near-death experiences and then horrific fear, and it's enough of this testing. It's enough to sustain in the truth and be unshakable in the divinity of who I am, and get on with it and find other like-minded people that are willing and able and ready to do the same thing. So how many?
Got to keep the energy light and fluffy.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the part that that makes me love you, is that you do have that, you just have this radiant glow of humor and everything, and not to take life so serious, even though it was, like you say, quite a serious transition from angel to human, finishing off the human, what would you say, karmic debt or karmic load that needed to be dealt with, so that being could go on, and then you to discover, who you are in the body and the work that you're called to do. So that stage, how many years was that transition from?
It's actually 19 years, and
19
it was a
years,
very
right?
long time for me, because it was my only time on the planet. I had no idea what I was getting into. It was like unfinished business. I really get like I'm like more of the evolved spiritual angelic of the other expression. It's not like she's in one phase and I'm in another. She was more of the physical, and I'm more of the ethereal of her. And it's just really, really freeing to be able to walk the path without feeling like I'm having these chains of other people's energies weighing me down. I tore up a lot of energetic contracts, burnt the contracts, asked, a lot of energies that weren't mine. I released with these amazing, expansive beings that are loving beings. Without them, I know I wouldn't want to be on this planet. And I'm just in gratitude. I'm choosing to stay very present. I don't like to talk about the past. I'm very present oriented and kind of excited to see moment to moment what's going to happen next. And I choose to stay in gratitude. I choose to stay in the love vibration and being happy, because that's the only way I'm going to move into this next stage and attract those that are committed authentically in being there too, instead of just talking about wanting to get there. You have to be it first before you can experience it with others. And I've been through a lot, and it's like, it's my time. I keep saying it's my time because I really believe it, and I'm choosing this third leg to make it as happy as it possibly can, and to really get on with this exciting new life.
I think what you're saying is true for all of us as humans, isn't it? I mean, it's just time to get over ourselves, get past the trauma and the storytelling about ain't it awful, and to accept our divinity and that there's humor in it. Whatever's showing up is for us to learn and to lighten up and put some joy in our lives and step forward. It seems to me that, one of the things that you're doing is almost writing a manual for the angels. I mean, it's one thing to be an angel as, as a guide or as part of my light team that helps me as a human on the physical plane, but, unless the angel has had a human experience, it's two different realms with two different operating systems. So in some cases, I would think it was hard for an angel to really quite understand why humans act the way they do. And it's sometimes difficult for humans to understand why angels don't sort of get the human dilemma. But so you're sort of like a cross-cultural or cross-interdimensional communicator, translator, creating a guidebook not only for planet Earth, but for angels to how to work with Earth beings and vice versa. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, this book that I'm really, really excited. I have one page left, and it's like part of me wants to have it done, and then another part of me knows it's organically completing on its own. And so I'm really compassionately patient with myself with the completion of it. And although they didn't give me a manual, now they're going to have a manual, because this manual is kind of like an autobiography of what I went through in order to get to where I'm at. And I know in my heart is going to support a lot of people in their own transitions and their own evolutions. And it came from love when I wrote it. And, I'm just very committed to doing the best I can with its completion. And I'm kind of excited to see where it's going to go and how it's going to unfold. So it's I know there's more that they want from me, and I'm just at the starting points of where my purpose comes into play. It's not totally clear yet. I do know that what I was doing is no longer going to be play out in the same way, but how that's going to unfold, I just keep seeing March. And so for whatever reason, this month has to complete itself in order for me to move more fully into this new exciting phase. And I'm over ready, like so ready, and so like open and receptive, and know I'm worthy and deserving of it. And I'm kind of like, okay, let's move it on, kind of a feeling.
So do you think March is just a stepping stone, or an upgrade for you, or or is it for all of humanity, do you think?
Well, I'm not going to put everybody in March, because obviously in the readings that I do with people, everybody has based on numerology as well. I do also do numerology. So based on their evolution, their spiritual evolution, the time they were born, when they were born, not so much the time, because I don't get into time, but their month and their day and how they came in, that plays a huge role in the timing. And then of course it's universal timing. It's not my time, it's universal time. And I'm buying this experience based on my time. I do know I have spoken to quite a few people that have felt March as part of their experience. And then I've met people that have it in September or May or June. So this is a big year. It's the year of one, new beginnings. And it's a whole new 9-year cycle of choosing love over fear, choosing peace over war, choosing joy over sadness, and just doing the prosperity consciousness over the limitations, and positivity over negativity, all these kinds of vibrations. And when you at this different vibration, you will attract those that are at that vibration. So you have to be it first. And so I knew I had to dive in and clean out what was keeping me from being at it in the human form.
Yeah, and isn't that part of it? I mean, when I asked that question, I got this feeling of waves, right? That there's certain wave points. March may be one of them, September for others. As we deal with this, it's like you've just gone through an initiation or a mystery school initiation where you were tested whether you could stay in your heart and in your joy, or deal with your, or become overcome by your fear. And I think this next step, like you said, in the year one, we're all going to be confronted with that. Both individually, collectively, and planetary-wise, that there's so much going on that can put us into fear, but really the big test for us is, can we stay out of fear, actually even see the humor in it when we get caught in the drama, because it is pretty, it feels like it's getting seriously silly, if there's such a way of looking at it, right? It's really...
Well, there are veils that we go through, and when we move up, this is a vibrational planet, and so as we're moving into different vibrations, our vibrations are matched based on what's going on inside and how we're choosing to communicate and express in the human form. And so when we get to that place of a certain vibration, I saw it. It's like we go through this portal, and then we have a whole new set of new energies and new lessons around that. And it's kind of fun because when you move into these different portals, it's like the frequency gets lighter, and you don't have conversations around drama or any of that stuff because it's not part of your chosen focus or energy. You just look at it as it is. And that's kind of like, it's kind of different. I've been there, done that. Now I'm kind of like fresh into this new exciting energy that I'm ready to play in, and I'm seeing messages around that's confirming it. So I'm very committed to standing strong in my words and my actions and not entertaining anything that contradicts it, because it's not my beingness anymore.
Yeah, I like that. So like this snake, you've shedded that skin because it doesn't fit anymore. You now have a new skin and a new body, and you're ready to do this next step. And it sounds like you're excited to fight. What's that?
Keep laughing.
Yeah,
keep laughing.
Yeah, keep laughing. And the laughter is going to bring you right up to the opportunity of rating your partner or soulmate soon, right?
Yeah, right. I'm so ready. I've been, I dated someone when I first came in, but it wasn't my experience. It was someone else. It was the other expression. So I was guided to strongly end it. And I dated for quite some time after that, but I just wasn't what I wanted. And so I pretty much dated on the ethereal. I had dates on the ethereal in my dreams. They were coming and having a relationship with me. And I'm like, okay, chicken, come in human form. And they kept telling me it's going to happen. And I just know that this being, whoever it is that's in a human form, is not a humanly based being. It's more of something, I can't even put my words on what it is. I don't know if it's an angelic or if it's just an expansive being. But I do feel very strongly that this expression has been on this planet more than I have, to make it easier for us to do what we're here to do. Like, I don't believe that this person has been here only one time like me. It feels like this person has more of a wisdom around dealing with the planet. And it's kind of like taking a lot longer than I had hoped it would. And so when I do meet that person, they're probably going to get a loving smack. What took you so long, kind of a feeling. And they may feel the same way about me, so it may be mutual, like, well, what took you so long, kind of a feeling.
Yeah. Well, I'm just giggling away here because I'm thinking of the ad, Angel looking for soulmate. I mean, the ad would be hilarious, right?
Well, and I can't even look because it's not something, I can't go outside, put a sign up, I'm here. I guess I could, but
I know,
no, it's,
that's the humor in it, is, angel looking for soulmate. Well, nobody would believe that in the first place, and who's going to
right.
answer that? But yeah, so the time is rapidly coming to that point. And would it be nice if that's not just you meeting your soulmate, but it's us meeting a collective?
Yeah, a lot of people are meeting their mates. Actually, I've met quite a few people that I've worked with that have, from bringing in these high vibrational energies, they ended up meeting their relationship. And I'm like, great, I help others, but what about me, kind of feeling.
Yeah, and I'm not just talking about soulmates, I'm talking about the next level up of soulmates working with soulmates, so that we're now have an integrative network of like-minded people to take us to that.
Oh yeah, it's totally necessary for people that are at this vibration to come together and really celebrate the hard work that was put in order to get there. And I'm so looking forward, because I've seen past buyers in that vibration, and to this day I really wish I would have stopped them and got their phone number, but for whatever reason the lessons took a domination over me.
Right.
And so now, I have like cards in my purse that I can instantly give. And
Right.
I'm excited to see what the universe is going to do, because it is really out of my control.
Yes, thank goodness for all of us that it's out of our control. Yeah. So in the lessons that you learned and your and the connection that you have with your other angelic beings, was that mostly in the initial transition stage done through lucid dreaming? Was it done in the dreamscape time?
Actually, initially it was done in the dream state, because I found that, and it makes sense now that it's past the experience, that when they communicate in the dream state, the human mind isn't distracted or in the way. And so now that I understand how the human mind works and the emotions and the body work, I can come and go and have these conversations with them in the physical and also in the ethereal realm. And I could feel them even now, So it's not like I have to go somewhere in a dream state in order to connect. All I have to do is just tune in. And this world has more of a meaning than the world that's currently right now. It's more alive and it's more real. And I know that that's where we're moving into. And
Right.
I know that that's my role, is to keep the truth of this vibration alive, to remind others of their own awakening to that truth. And so that's why I don't entertain conversations that aren't in alignment with it. It's not that I'm judging those, it's just not where I'm choosing to go. And it's kind of fun, to be able to just kind of tune in and feel them like they're in human form. kind of.
Let's talk about that, tuning in just for a sec. So if I understand correctly, you were visiting him in the dreamscape, in lucid dreaming, having that experience and connecting to your angelic tribe that way. But now, if I'm just going to put some words out. What I'm getting the feeling is now you're able to still your mind, your human mind consciousness, and allow you to have that connection with the divinity of who you are and your angelic kingdom. Is that correct?
The human mind isn't dominating my life anymore. It's kind of like it's there. Obviously, I love it, but it's not running my life anymore. And that was part of what I had to learn, is the difference between the intellectual, higher conscious mind and the human mind, and the beliefs and the fears and the limitations and the insecurities and all that encompassed in the limited mind. And so I don't use the human mind when it comes to stuff like this. I use it for calculating things, doing taxes and stuff like that, but not when it comes to what I guess my angelic role. It's not necessary to have it. And the human mind is very cooperative. It understands that the role. I always knew I wasn't the human mind or the emotions of the body, which made it easy. And they purposely did that so that I wouldn't identify with myself as being it. And it was about learning how to not let it control, which is part of the human ego role. It's just an operating system. And so now that, I'm using the angelic energy, I'm able to connect with these, not only the angelic realm, but these ascended beings, Christ, ascended masters, Mother Mary, Mother Magdalene, and these ascended beings that have chosen to come from a very far, far, far away to come on this planet and help. And I just absolutely love them all. because it's a commitment for them too, even though they're not in the physical realm, they're still committed.
So I want to go back to that, methodology that you're talking about, because you're a bridge person between angels and humans, like some people are bridge people between fairies and humans. So in this skilling of the mind, or knowing that the mind has a certain function, and it's really good to calculate things, but it's not necessarily the tool to use to connect to the higher part of yourself and to the angels, then what sort of suggestions do you have for the common human, given your experience of learning how to manage the human body, to help them connect to their light team or their oversoul or then their guardian angels?
Well, that's a really excellent and complex question, because first of all, you don't use
You got 4.5 minutes.
You use the human. It's more about getting into the heart more and learning about bringing the vibration of love into place instead of using the human mind. So part of it is majority of the people think too much, and they're not feeling enough. And when you're in the and listening to them as I'm communicating, because they're telling me additional things to say, is you don't use the human senses. You use your heightened spiritual energy instead of the human senses in order to make the connection. So you get to a certain vibrational place where you are able to disassociate from a duality to a oneness. And that's part of what I'm supporting those that are ready and that I'm guided to assist in getting to that exact place. Meditation, nature, high vibrational music, all those kinds of things do support the evolution of the human consciousness, embracing the self-defeating beliefs, being consciously aware of the awareness of that. Those are some examples of things that one can do. Stop talking about your stories and the fears and the drama, get out of your head around it, and come from a place of laughter and joy and being as present as you can with keeping your energy in a playful place. And sometimes it's easier than it is to do, but it is necessary in order to get to this vibrational place. You have to be willing to make a commitment to get out of the stories.
Yeah, time to get out of the stories. They're only stories and they don't help, and they all have to do with the past, right? So,
well, stories are illusions. They're just based on the energy of your belief systems, and so the more you live in it, the more you're stuck in it.
Right. So we got 2 minutes to go here. I'm finding this conversation fascinating, and there's so much in which we can learn from each other. But so you're also a bridge person. The website. Yeah. So let's use this last moment. How do people get hold of you to have this experience of?
Yeah. So if it's, I work with those that are, first of all, on the path of love, and they have to be committed to that path and come from a certain vibrational level. There's various things that I do. The website is Angel, ANGEL, Rose, ROSE, Love, LOVE, .wix, WIX.com/love. And there's various tabs. I have an online series to help to wake up the human consciousness, products I created, special events, meditation. I'm certified as a hypnotist, and I'm not putting you under, by the way. And also some readings, angel messages, and so forth. So I encourage people to review first, make sure I'm the fit by tuning in, and then when you contact me, I tune in and make sure that I'm the proper fit, and then we just kind of go from there and take the role of working together, or playing together, I like to say, instead of working together. So yeah, fun.
Yeah, so
Has to be fun.
yeah, it has to be fun or it's not sustainable. So thank you very much for coming on the show and opening up this interesting talk, and I'm sure we'll be in touch. I'm looking forward to working with you and hopefully being part, well, not hopefully, but knowing what would be part of this new light team as we move into this new level of consciousness. And if other people on the call resonate to this, well, then you know who to get hold of and join the club.
That's right. Have fun, join the club, keep laughing.
Laughter always takes you to where you need to go. So thank you for showing up on planet Earth, and bye for now.
Bye for now.
For quality online wellness products, courses, and services, visit our sponsors, thewellnessstore.ca. and the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy located at thewellnessacademy.ca. To stay in touch, visit us at thewellnessshow.ca. And until next time, be healthy, wealthy, and wise.